Hey folks, so I want to take a few minutes and talk to you guys about competitive play versus casual play. Nick from Idic Beer shared a really good video about his experiences with Eldar, and recently, well, not recently, but within 7th edition, Eldar has received a lot of hate because of the strength of the Codex. And what kind of made me think is where do we stand when it comes to competitive play versus casual play? Has competitive play influenced our casual play environment so much that a lot of the strong lists are going over into the casual play and changing that environment from, hey, bring some fun units to, hey, bring the best you can. When it comes to the two different types of play, I not only want to share my thoughts, but I also want to get your guys' opinions too on how you guys do competitive play and how you guys do casual play. So my thoughts when it comes to competitive play, it's something I really enjoy. I find it challenging. I find it's a lot of fun and exciting because when you're going into a competitive game, you've got this social contract with the person that you're playing against saying, hey, I'm going to bring my best. This is my best army. These are my best skills, and I'm trying to win here. And let's see who's the better of the two of us, which is good, which is cool. And those games usually stem from either practicing for a tournament or just a local campaign or something along those lines. You're basically bringing your best to try and win. And when you prepare for these games, a lot of times you say, hey, here's where I'm going to be, this is what time I'm going to be there, and here's the points. We don't necessarily share lists. So that's usually the more competitive environment that I'm used to. I'd like to, at the end, maybe hear what you guys think of your competitive environment and share what it is. When it comes to casual, for the past little while, I've been kind of getting a few casual games in, or at least what I think are casual games, and a lot of it has to do with sharing more information. So when we're talking about competitive games versus casual, competitives seem to be, focused on either a one-time game or a preparation for a tournament or an actual tournament itself where you get your various different games in and play against various different people. Cool. When it comes to a casual game, I think there's a lot more involved there when you're talking about people that are just coming into the gaming environment. Maybe they've just moved into the area. Maybe a few casual games might be good to get them used to the club. There's also people that are trying out new lists or new codex, so that more casual game will be able to get them to practice with those units and seeing exactly what those abilities are that those units have to determine whether or not it's going to be good within the list and something they can work with. And then, of course, there's going to be the new players to 40K, and that's something that's really important. When we are facing those new players to, I feel at least, go with more of a casual attitude to encourage them to play, because 40K has a very steep learning curve, and it can be pretty challenging. It doesn't necessarily step up as well as some other games, like maybe X-Wing, for example. Now, for myself, recently I had a game with Deathwatch. Deathwatch can be a pretty challenging army to build a list for and play when you're not really used to it. So I was challenged to a match with it, and I thought, well, okay, I'll bring my Harlequins. And something that we don't normally do, we started to talk about the lists. So we figured out, hey, this is the time, this is the place, this is how many points we're going to be going, but also here's my list. This is what I'm bringing. My Harlequins, they're going to be Yunari, I'm going to bring the Encarn and Yvraine, and I'm also going to bring Harlequin's Kisses instead of Caresses, and I'm going to bring just shirking catapults or pistols instead of neural disruptors. And he's like, okay, that's cool. I'm going to bring these types of squads. I'm going to bring Cypher, these standard squads, these vets, and these, I think there were Terminators or something like that, and a Librarian. So that was cool. So we discussed the different lists between the two of us a lot, something we don't normally do within competitive play. And because of that discussion, understanding each other's armies, I think we were able to not necessarily build a balanced list to fight each other, because I really don't feel you can get a balanced list within 40K. There's just too many variables. But when we actually played the game, it was almost unit for unit here and there. One turn I lost a few, another turn he lost a few, and it pretty much came right down to the end where each of us only had a few units on the table, and the separation of points was only by a few. So I think it was a really good experience, in my opinion. So those are my thoughts on how competitive play and casual play kind of work. Now, there's one big thing when it comes to competitive versus casual play, and that has to do with the collections as well. So I'm really lucky. I've got a ridiculously huge collection. I can just grab whatever I want because I've been collecting for like ever. But there's going to be those of us out there that are just starting an army, and why would you buy units that you hear are not necessarily good, or you want to get those scattered laser jet bikes, and you want to get those the Wraith Knight and so on. But when it comes to casual play, is it appropriate to, instead of run those as scattered lasers, maybe run them as shuriken cannons? Is it okay to just go in there and proxy a lot of stuff? I know for myself, I like WYSIWYG because my memory sucks and I can't remember what's on the table half the time. So for my own self, I find WYSIWYG's a little bit easier. But for a casual play environment where you're just kind of sitting back, having some fun, back and forth, is it okay to just bring those 15 warp spiders as maybe a group of striking scorpions or something unique? I don't know. I really want your guys' thoughts on how you take your competitive lists and either adjust them, change them, and make them into a casual list. What is a casual list? So those are my questions to you guys. What's a casual list? How do you guys do a competitive versus casual? What are some of the tips that you guys have to kind of share out to our community members to help foster maybe a competitive environment? And what are some things that we can suggest to foster a casual environment for gaming? Is it okay, Wednesday, every second Wednesday is going to be competitive night, every second or third Wednesday is going to be casual night, and another one's going to be mixed or campaign night? I don't know. What do you guys do? So that's my question to you. Sorry this video ran a little long. I kind of rambled a bit, but I'm really curious about what your guys' experiences have been with casual play and competitive play, and how you guys foster it within your own gaming environment. So with that said, I really look forward to hearing your guys' comments and feedback, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye now.